The wrestling world is brimming with rumors and intrigue following recent developments in AEW. Among the most tantalizing, the possibility that Adam Copeland, formerly known in WWE as Edge, might make a shock return to his old stomping ground, WWE, to face his longtime rival John Cena, possibly as a curtain call match in Cena's farewell tour. As with many high-profile speculations, the truth lies somewhere between wishful fan dreams, creative storytelling, and contractual realities. In this article, we dig deep into the backstage reports, analyze the context, and weigh how plausible this dream match really is. The spark: what set the rumors on fire? AEW's dramatic exit segment. At AEW Dynamite following the All Out 2025 pay-per-view, Copeland appeared in a backstage segment with Christian Cage. In the segment, Copeland said he needed to step away due to threats his family was facing, stemming from actions by FTR, and that he was not certain whether he'd return. Given the timing, this airing came just after the All Out show where Copeland and Cage had defeated FTR. Fans and insiders latched onto key phrases, "I don't know if I'll be back," and "for family reasons." These are classic wrestling storytelling tropes for writing someone off TV, either temporarily or forever. But the segment also came amid one of wrestling's most tempting coincidences. John Cena is on a farewell run, with only a handful of appearances left, and a stadium slot for Saturday night's main event SNME rumored for December. The timing seemed irresistibly suggestive. The contract clock and Cena's farewell dates. One of the cornerstones of speculation is that Copeland's AEW contract is believed to expire soon, some speculate as early as November 2025. If that's true, it would open the narrow window for a temporary return to WWE before Cena's final dates wrap up. Meanwhile, Cena's farewell tour is structured such that one of his remaining marquee stops is Saturday night's main event in December. Some scooped reports suggested a possible Edge vs. Cena match being planned for that slot. These overlapping timelines make for very fertile ground for rumor mills. But overlapping windows alone don't guarantee the match happens. Contracts, creative direction, health, and backstage politics all come into play. The pushback: reports that shoot down the theory. PW Insider. Not even remotely true. Multiple sources have cited PW Insider Elite reporting that rumors of Copeland returning to WWE to battle Cena are not even remotely true. According to those who have been contacted, the backstage explanation for Copeland's removal from AEW's storyline is not a designed detour into WWE, but rather scheduling for his acting commitments. His acting work is tied to the Disney Plus series Percy Jackson and the Olympians, where Copeland has a recurring role as Ares, the god of war. It is widely reported that filming for the show's new season is ramping up and will occupy Copeland's schedule in the months ahead. Thus, his absence from AEW is framed more as a practical necessity than a storyline cliffhanger. Written off, not redeployed. Backstage insiders are emphasizing that there's no title or statement from AEW about liberating Copeland to appear elsewhere. In wrestling, for a contracted talent to appear on a rival show, agreed permissions or releases are often necessary, especially in the modern era of exclusivity. No such public or leaked agreement appears to exist. Moreover, insiders suggest Copeland's exit was handled in storyline, meaning AEW booked it as part of the narrative rather than as a literal contract released to WWE. In short, the narrative is that this is a hiatus, not a betrayal of loyalty or a secret WWE rendezvous. Variables to watch: what would need to happen for it to be possible? Though the prevailing narrative leans negative, several moving parts would have to align just right for the Cena vs. Copeland match to occur. Let's examine those. 1. Contract status and flexibility. If Copeland's AEW contract truly ends by November 2025, he would technically become a free agent. But even then, many contracts include non-compete clauses or morality clauses, which might restrict him from appearing for a rival for some time. AEW would need to willingly allow, or be contractually bound, to let Copeland jump to WWE for a one-off match. That's not unheard of, but it's rare, especially for big stars. 2. Physical condition and readiness. Copeland is now 51 years old and has already dealt with major injuries in his career, especially neck issues. If Cena's final match is scheduled in December, Copeland would need to remain physically ready. Any injury, filming schedule, or recovery need could derail it. It's worth noting that Copeland has previously talked about wanting to control the pace of his later years in wrestling and choosing his matches carefully. 3. WWE and AEW creative cooperation, or at least non-conflict. WWE would have to book Copeland, promote him, and find a creative role for him, short-term though it may be. AEW would need to allow or tolerate the storyline departure in a way that doesn't damage future booking. For this to happen, there would likely need to be backstage conversations or agreements, something that, as of now, hasn't leaked credibly. 4. Fan and legacy expectations. When legends return for one last match, it's a big promotional draw. WWE would likely only greenlight it if they see both upside and minimal risk. Cena vs. Edge has legacy weight. Booking it well would demand smooth coordination and top billing. WWE would want to control the narrative. Is this a retirement match? A dream match? A swan song for one or both? So far, there's no known public agreement or phrasing from WWE or AEW signaling such a carefully coordinated plan. Arguments in favor, speculative but intriguing. Despite the pushback, several aspects make the dream match idea compelling to many fans and insiders. They merit examination. Legacy magnetism. Cena and Edge share one of WWE's most storied rivalries. Their in-ring chemistry and history are deeply etched in fans' minds. A final bout would be a high-impact legacy moment. For Cena, the last big match against a familiar nemesis offers narrative closure. Similarly, for Copeland Edge, it would be a triumphant return to the promotion that made him legendary. Fertile timing. Cena's remaining dates are dwindling. AEW's contract window and Cena's farewell window overlap just enough to make logistics plausible, if tight. The emotional weight is there. Copeland's recent tribute gestures, such as mimicking Cena's moves during his AEW match, fueled speculation intensely. Social media and fan pressure. Wrestling fans are highly vocal. Social media has been ablaze with speculation. Some speculate WWE might feel pressure to deliver this match to satisfy audiences. Promoters often respond to narrative momentum. If enough buzz builds, executives sometimes pivot to accommodate dream matches. Past precedents. In wrestling history, legends returning to face former rivals, even across promotions, has happened, though under unique circumstances. WWE and WCW crossovers in the Attitude Era, or surprise one-off deals, have created memorable moments. The scale is different now, but it shows what's possible. Still, none of these alone is sufficient to override the more grounded reports pointing to scheduling conflicts and contract limitations. Why many think it won't happen? Let's examine the key obstacles in even more detail. The acting commitment. The most credible explanation for Copeland's absence is that he is returning to full commitment to his acting work, specifically Percy Jackson and the Olympians. He currently plays Ares, and production for a new season is reportedly beginning soon. The filming schedule may extend through much of late 2025 into early 2026, rendering a December wrestling return extremely tight. If Copeland is contractually obligated to be on set, there simply may not be time to train, travel, and perform at WWE levels of production. Contractual ties and AEW obligation. Even if his AEW contract is expiring, there may be clauses preventing him from working for direct competitors immediately or requiring renegotiation. No credible leak suggests AEW has waived such clauses or permitted a special exit. Wrestling contracts in modern times often tightly restrict cross-promotion appearances. Furthermore, AEW may wish to preserve the narrative integrity of its own shows and keep control of its talent. Allowing a marquee name to appear in WWE, even temporarily, could be seen as undermining AEW's brand. Health, age and ring readiness. At 51, Copeland's body is not what it was 2 decades ago. He's battled neck and spine concerns throughout his career. To perform at WWE's level, especially for a match against Cena, who still brings strong athletic intensity, requires rigorous conditioning, planning, and risk management. If Copeland or WWE determines he can't safely deliver a match that lives up to expectations, the whole idea may be shelved. Cena's schedule and booking priority. Cena's retirement is being handled carefully by WWE. They need to map out his final matches, promos, broadcast slots, marketing, and legacy storytelling. Bringing in Copeland would adjust the booking puzzle. Additionally, WWE may already have plans or contingencies for Cena's final matches, whether or not Edge is involved. If that path is already set, late surprises threaten coherence. Likely scenarios and what makes the most sense. Given all the data points and rumors, Here are a few plausible scenarios that balance reality and speculation. Scenario A. Copeland remains on hiatus, no WWE return. This is the likeliest. Copeland steps away temporarily for his acting work, AEW books around his absence, and Cena's final matches proceed with other opponents. The Edge vs. Cena dream match remains in the realm of fans' imaginations. The public narrative, as many reports suggest, will be that the WWE return rumors were misfires, and Copeland will be back in AEW, or fully retiring on his own timeline, in 2026 or beyond. Scenario B. One-off WWE appearance with permission. A more unlikely but still possible path is that AEW and WWE fashion a special cross-promotion permission, allowing Copeland to appear for one match on Cena's farewell. This would require contract amendments, goodwill negotiation, and mutual benefits. If WWE sees huge PR upside and AEW tolerates it as a goodwill gesture, it has a chance. Even then, his appearance would probably be heavily protected, limited promos, controlled storyline, minimal physical risk. Cena vs. Copeland could be billed as a farewell spectacle, with stipulations to protect both men. Scenario C. Edge returns to WWE full-time. This is the least plausible short-term option, but more likely long-term if Cena's farewell triggers a bigger realignment. Copeland could eventually re-sign with WWE after his AEW contract ends. Cena, out of the picture, would then be a footnote rather than the impetus. However, this is speculation beyond the current window. What to watch for in the coming weeks. To see which direction this actually goes, and whether the rumor solidifies or dissipates, these are the signs to keep an eye on. 1. Official contracts and announcements. If AEW or WWE releases any statements about Copeland's contract status or permissions, that would be a major signal. 2. Social media teases. Copeland, Cena, or agents dropping cryptic posts could create pressure or hint at mutual acknowledgement. 3. WWE booking. If WWE books matches or promos for Cena that hint at Edge or reference past feuds, it may be cluing an intended return. 4. Film production schedules. Any updates on Copeland's filming commitments, dates, location constraints could tighten or loosen his availability. 5. Backstage interviews or leaks. As wrestling reporters dig, leaks or insider quotes might confirm or deny cooperation between the two promotions. 6. Physical condition status. Reports on Copeland's health, training, or rehab could affect his readiness to perform physically demanding bouts.